Hello, good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the show this afternoon is the one and only Bridgeman and the legend, yes, the legend, is Rudy Bear. How we doing, boys?
Afternoon, Ox. Afternoon, Bridgeman.
No, can I say a huge good afternoon to you two guys. Massive good afternoon to the boys in the lobby, and a huge good afternoon to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. Good afternoon and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Come on, Brid. You need to cut that, mate. The game's going to start. The silent pauses are getting longer.
He's trying to get off from you, aren't you, Bridgeman?
I think he's got. I think Bridgeman's got the team. On you go, Bridgie.
The team is McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Balogun and Bassey, Amara, Davis and Aribo, Kent, Hadji and Morelos. Substitutes: McGrory, Lundstrom, whatever it is, Helander, Itten, Patterson, Roof and Arfield.
It's decent team there, Bridgeman, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
The centre half, and obviously we picked up that Scott Wright's injured, so Kent's getting another chance. Thoughts, Rudy Bear?
I was a wee bit surprised, just saying off call there, Ox. I was a wee bit surprised. I thought maybe, I didn't know at the time that Scott Wright had been injured, picked up a wee injury, which I think's a bit
unfortunate. Mate, we'll make you a star.
Right, okay. Just what I'm on. I was a wee bit surprised, Kent being taken off at half time the other night. That's a big statement, isn't it? To take one of your players off like at half time, it's certainly making a statement by the manager. So I kind of thought maybe he'd be sitting on the bench today, but maybe he's not got many options with Scott Wright being injured, Docs. I would like to have seen Scott Wright continue because I think he's been in good form. He certainly injected a bit of pace and attacking intent into the game the other night, so.
The left side, obviously Borner's not even on the bench, which also suggests that he's maybe got an injury. Yeah. Also, or is Patterson the fullback cover for both sides? Bridgeman?
I don't know if Patterson would do really well in the left back side, but why not?
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think the boy's got all the talent in the world. So, and there's an opportunity, isn't it? If something happens, bring him on. No matter what happens, just bring him on. Let's see how it goes on. Because normally fullbacks can do that, sometimes it's obvious they're too right-footed, and they can't do nothing. They can't play other than to the right, so.
What you done back in the day, you get your big stookies, the stupid ones that went and he did it all the time, it couldn't play. You put them in centre half, and your diddies, you had them at fullback. Is that right, Rudy?
No, I agree with that.
That's a shocker, isn't it?
I know, Bridgeman, aye. But you've also got Aribo in the team as well. I mean, he's done a couple of stints.
Done it before, aye.
Yeah. So you could always stick him at left back if needs be, and there's a couple of players on the bench you could bring in to play in that position, like Arfield and Roof and stuff like that. So that's another option.
And it looks like Wright is, I think you said Wright is maybe carrying a wee
knock. Hopefully nothing too serious, mate. After having people would argue that he was man of the match for his shift. He gave us everything, Rudy, on Thursday night, didn't he?
Well, I was really pleased with him, Hadji and Bassey. That was my sort of top three, I thought, on Thursday night. I felt a wee bit sorry for Alfie in the first half, next to no service, and it's as good a player as Alfie is. If you don't give him service, it's not much Alfie can do about that. But Scott Wright was certainly coming on to a game, wasn't he? Played really well when he came on at half-time the other night for Kent. And I'd like to have seen him continue with his good form today and maybe get another goal and maybe an assist and stuff like that, which he's already said in an interview he's trying to add to his game. They want him to add goals and assists. So, yeah, he certainly looks like, I think he's going to be a good player for us this season. I really do. I think he's going to contribute a lot this season.
Mm-hmm. I think he's a quality-looking player, isn't he? He looks like a quality player, that fella. Scott Wright. Brilliant player for us. He lifts it up and he's got pace. He adds tempo and a man that people would try and put the ball through to run onto, things like that. Brilliant. I think he's good.
Okay. Well, we're going to open the phone lines up, get some callers, and then we'll come back and we'll look at the centre half and we get the expert's opinion on that. So let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356-1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Hollander doesn't play a lot of games in a row, Bridge, does he? So he's come out for Balogun. Is that a concern for you?
Actually, I don't know whether it's a confidence thing or whether the manager, because of Balogun and a bit more fight, maybe about him, he's a bit more rough. And you're playing against Ross County. Some of these guys are just it can be quite ruthless, you know. So maybe Balogun's just the man you want to be in there against these people, you know. I don't know, but I would always play Helander, always. But the manager maybe doing that for purpose, you know.
Rudy?
I think Helander's a better football player at the two of them, Ox, and Balogun played a lot of European games last season, didn't he? So, and I think it depends on that wee bit of pace that Balogun's got, but I don't know. I think I would just go with Helander most of the time, you know, and if he's managing, you know.
That's my thoughts as well, mate. Helander's my best defender. He's more comfortable on the left. I would say Balogun's slightly more comfortable on the ball, but Helander's more natural with his left foot, you know.
Aye, he's a left-footed player, and he's just the better defender out of the two of them, in my opinion. But maybe, as Bridgeman says, this is the kind of game, because normally Ross County are big and strong. I haven't saw anything of Ross County this season, but they're big and strong normally, you know. And so he's maybe the physicality of Balogun maybe be better suited to this game.
And that's what I don't agree with. I think that Hollander is a guy who thrives more on the physicality than Balogun does. Okay. I think the reason for putting Balogun is, I didn't agree with it, but I can understand why Stevie G done it. Again, I'll hold my eyebrows when you're pushing up and trying to get goals and you're susceptible to the counter attack. I think he's got a bit more pace than Hollander. No much, but I think Hollander's a better centre half.
I think for definite. I think where Hollander wins is in the head as well. I think he's quicker in the head. You may not have the pace on the grass that Balogun's got. But then I also think, Ox, is he playing him today thinking that he might use Balogun next Thursday away, you know, in Armenia? Maybe that's a possibility. Maybe that's why he's thinking.
I just don't get that, mate. We've done that. We dropped Hollander after allegedly manning the match in our last two European ties.
Yeah.
Balogun didn't play well against Sparta Prague. He didn't play well against Malmo at Ibrox. And we ended up having Hollander no playing. I don't get it. Anyway, we've been joined by Big Al. Good evening to you, Big Al.
Good evening. It's been the morning again here.
Right, Al.
No, I've been out in the Garden. I was at St. Fox, out in the Garden all day, man. Sunburnt, sitting here like a lobster. Sorry to rub it in, boys. Balogun, is Hollander injured? Or is he just changing the team?
No, he's on the bench, big man. He's on the bench.
I know, but Roof's on the bench and all. And look, you know my thoughts about Aribo. I'd rather hear a Roof on the park than Aribo on the park. Young Wright, like Rudy was saying there, I just caught a bite of him, man. I mean, he's coming on to a bit of a game. Surely he could go up to Ross County and do the damage.
He's got an injury, mate. He's got an injury.
Is he?
Aye,
right, sorry.
He's got an injury.
Sorry, right, okay then.
Aye.
Well, you could have had Roof on. I'd like to see Roof on, like, the start.
Who would you take out the fire line?
Aribo.
Well, how are you going to play that way?
I'd put my four best players up the front of the park and tell them to go and score a barrel of the goals. That's the tactics all I would need to tell them.
I like it, Big Al. I like it.
I'm not into your tactics. I just want goals and I want them to win. If Aribo pulls off a good... Look, I actually thought as well this would have been a good time to insert Patterson to give him a bit of game time.
No, you've been banging it on.
I know, but not just because of Tav or whatever. Like, I still think Tav's probably on paper a better player at the end of the day. But I think this is a good game. Wee bit of pressure on the game. We need to come away from here with a good win.
A win.
We would actually see how this young boy is. You know what I mean? I think he would thrive in the environment. Like,
well, we'll see. He'll get his chance at some point in this season, and we'll take it from there.
I don't know about
that. I think he will. I think he'll get his chance at the right time, you know. When the right time is. You need a bit of luck, Bridgeman, didn't you? Rudy. You need a bit of luck.
Absolutely. A lot of luck. You need a lot of luck. Particularly against Ross County, by the way.
No, I'm talking about to get in a team, you need
Oh,
a
yes,
bit of luck.
yes. Absolutely. Well, it's got to run for you, isn't it?
Aye.
Got to run for you.
Could be the guy in front of you gets injured or that, Rudy, or, suspended.
I think Al's got a point. At some point, you've got to start playing Patterson a wee bit more, because I don't think Tav's had the great. He's not had. Let's be honest, but Tav's not the greatest start to the season. Ox, is he?
Nope.
He's been poor form wise, and it's not the Tav we saw last season. So there's certainly a case. For Patterson getting a wee run in the team. I'd like to see him get 2-3 games, Ox, just to see how he gets on, and you can start to think about making a decision about him proper. Then he's you're bringing him on for maybe 10-15 minutes here. There, he had a good game against Infernal, and Bassey's starting to show what he's capable of, and I think a lot of that's down to the coaching he's getting behind the scenes. I think Bassey's been really, really good in the last sort of 2-3 games and that. But, Patterson could be the same. Patterson will be the same. He'll be an exceptional young player going forward. But it's just, when do you get that opportunity? Does he need to wait till Tav gets an injury, or does he wait till Tav gets a suspension before you start thinking about putting him in there? I mean, he's on the bench, so you must have confidence in him, Ox.
He's a big part of the first team squad.
Yeah.
And apart from Rebo, Big Ali, he's a guy covering the two fullback positions.
Aye. But like what Rudy was saying there, the Tav's not very injury prone, and he doesn't pick up a lot of bookings or that, so he's not going to be at the team that way. So I just didn't see an opportunity unless you take Tav out and you put him in. It's as simple as that, I think. I just want to see the young guy go. I don't want to go on too much about it, because I know I'd like to talk about the game of the day. Like I think we should get a result here. We really need a result. I think we put a bit of pressure on ourselves as a team.
I agree with that.
Can I come in on that, Ox?
Huh?
Can I come in on that?
Aye, you go, mate.
It was just to say that young Patterson, he's going to get his chance, and Tav has got a long way to go to get to the headiness he had last season, for instance. He's not really played very well this season, and his free kicks and corner kicks and things like that. They're only half of what. Yeah, that happened. Yeah. That's when the manager might turn and say, "Let's get that boy in here and let's see what it's like,"
No,
maybe
can I talk to you about that?
Of course, sir.
Well, you two get a room then, because I'm going to...
Sorry, Bridge, can I ask you a question, please?
Go on then.
If Tav has a shocker today, right, just for talk's sake, the skies a few free kicks, the crosses aren't excellent, do you put him in for during the week, and do you play him against the Mankey Mob?
No.
Is this not better? No, Patterson. Is this not better game? You bring the young guy into a game like this?
Timing's everything in these situations, isn't it? So the manager going to make up his mind at some point when he's going to play him.
I think the manager would...
All right, you go and get a wee private room, but we'll bring in Carl. How are we doing, Carl?
Oh, good morning to you. Happy Sunday. Well, it's quite good. I don't know the team yet.
But
what I've heard for you is that Hellander's out. I'm quite disappointed in that.
I'll get Bridge to read it out to you. Bridgeman, can you give us
Thank you.
If no Bridge.
Yes, and the team is McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Balogun, Bassey, Kamara, Davis, Aribo, Kent, Hadji and Morelos. Substitutes: McCrory, should I say, Lundstrom, Hellander, Itten, Patterson, Ruth and Arfield.
Who was that new goal was signed?
McCrory.
That's no bad team. It's no bad. I'm disappointed Hellander's out it though.
I think we were making that point, Rudy.
We certainly were, weren't we? Yeah, Hellander's definitely the better player out of the both of them. But maybe his Balogun's just in there for his wee bit of extra pace. But Hellander's quicker than head though, because that's the thing.
See, I could have thought that you could play Guy Goldson a day off and put Balogun on the right. With Hellander.
Just doesn't happen, does it?
No, it just doesn't seem to happen. But by that time, if they give him a day off, maybe he could go and sign his contract.
Aye, but
it must be hard to find a biro at Ibrox.
But he's
only Parker pens we have at Ibrox.
Well, Parker isn't even that good anymore, is it? Come on.
All right,
It's a lacrosse you need.
All right.
I don't like saying that on a Sunday either. But apart from that, I think we have to win, put it that way. I don't care 1-0, a bridge man, and any sort of win, we've got to win.
That's the point of Big Al's, mate. We've got ourselves under a bit of pressure. Big Al?
Aye, definitely a bit of pressure there. Is Hadji going to be in the midfield, or is that Aribo going to take up that slot and Aribo play further forward? What's the...
I'm seeing Aribo in the midfield, mate.
But is that, have we not said on this before that he's better that one up?
Personally, I think so, but I think needs must. Let's be honest, Rundstrom and Arfield haven't been great, so you've got Kamara back. Well, no, maybe you could have Hadji behind Aribo.
Well, I think somebody said that during the week, didn't they know, when I was listening in?
Maybe.
A couple of your shows.
I think that, I know. Hadji a wee bit deeper. To spray the ball about.
Hadji said in his press conference, didn't he could play that position? He's already told the coach and stuff that. So maybe that's what they're thinking. I personally, I would like to see Hadji more in a central position and Aribo on the right of the front three. That's what I would like to see.
Right.
Hadji's always been one of my favourites, as you know, Carl.
I know he's one of your least favourite players in the team. But I still think the guy's got class. He's no pace, but he's got class.
Listen, he's been one of our better players this season over the piece, mate. I call it as I see it, and when he's poor, I'll say he's poor, and if he does all right, we'll say he's all right. Rudy?
Aye, definitely. I know you've not been totally enamoured with him, Ox. I think he has been one of our better players this season. I was watching him the other night, and second half especially, I thought he took a couple of cluggings, but he just got back up and got on with it, and he was fighting for everything at one point. I was really impressed with his endeavour the other night as well. He was trying to move the team on, he was trying to push the team on, he was trying to get involved in stuff, and it looks like he's put a wee bit of weight on as well, so he doesn't seem...
He's not a small player, would he?
No, but he's even since last season, it looks like he's put a few pounds of muscle on. So
he's 6 foot, Rudy. Surprising.
My mate met him in the Road.
Yeah, but he's certainly put a few pounds of muscle on by the looks of things the close season. So I'm hoping for big things from this season, Ox. I was like you initially with him. I was just thinking he's too lightweight, goes to ground too easily, he's too inconsistent. This might just be the season where he shows us what he's all about, Ox. Hopefully he does.
Mm-hmm. I think he still goes to the ground easily, I must admit, but he's a different player. He's a different player. A different bit of weight on him. And maybe a wee bit more balanced in his game. Hopefully.
Hey, can I come in there, Ox?
Yes,
about muscles?
Oh, aye. A few must.
Hey, don't you think, personally I think too much muscle gives a lot more problems, hamstrings, popping, sinews everywhere, you know what I mean? If you bulk up too much, they must be keeping it to the right level, I'd imagine. But, when you get cramp, it must be murder with all the muscles.
I wouldn't know, Rudy.
I suppose there's a bit of a ceiling. You don't want to be a bodybuilder as a football player, do you? But if you look at Calvin Bassett was a big lad last season. He looks even bigger this season. I certainly wouldn't want to knock his pint out in the pub box, you know what I'm saying. But you're not wanting to be a bodybuilder, but you want to be able to handle yourself on the pitch, and part of that is strength. I mean, you look at Alfredo. Alfredo can certainly handle he's like a wee barrel. He's just, he's got power and strength in him. He'll fight two defenders off at the same time, Alfredo. But there's a limit.
But I was meaning that's natural strength. That's no...
Yeah.
That's like Katic last year bulked up, done his knee in, didn't he?
No.
Done his ligaments in.
Well, he'd done that before. He'd done it. I don't know if the upper body strength affects your hamstrings and your knees.
I don't know, but I don't know. It's just my opinion. I don't like to see too much muscle because I'm always waiting for something popping. I date myself when I do my weightlifting in here. 6 cans of Tennant. Right, I'm away. I'm away to prepare my dinner.
What's the
6 cans of Tennant's a dancer.
Pudding's a boat like Eldorado, okay? Right. Bye-bye, boys.
Take care, Carl.
Oh, what a man. How'd you see it going today then, Rudy?
I'm going to go for a 3-1 the Deoks. They've no scored yet this season. They've had a 0-0, I think, and a 3-0 off a drubbing off a Hibs. It apparently should have been 5 or 6-0. But so they've yet to score a goal. I'm hoping they don't score against us, obviously, but I'm going to go for a 3-1 the Deoks.
All right, I'm hoping we keep a clean sheet. I think that's important, Big Al, just to keep the momentum.
I would like to keep a clean sheet as well, and I'd like to see the El Buffalo getting a brace. He scored during the week there, so I think he'll be confident enough. We just need to get that ball whipped into him.
Bridgeman, what's your thoughts today, mate?
I think if we keep a clean sheet, it'd be fantastic. And I'll give a bit of credence to the defence and the way the managers try to make them play. However, I do want them to score goals, and as many goals as they can. I'll be quite happy if we come away with a victory. It keeps the points up, but we deserve to play and play well and take 4, 5, 6 goals off of some team. That's the kind of standard we need to do. We need to start scoring a lot of goals against some of these allegedly poorer teams than us.
Do you know what? I think Kent needs a goal. I think if Kent gets a goal, that's maybe going to help him with his confidence thing. You know, I'd like to see Kent get a goal.
You know, you look at when he hit that shot in the first half and it hit the bar, right?
Yeah.
See the same shot last year? It goes in the bar, Ruth in the net, and we're saying, what a finish, innit?
Yes, absolutely. And
you get what I mean?
Yeah, totally. He should have put that away. There's no the Kent last season would have. So a goal would do him the world of good, I think.
I get that. I think it'd be good for him and good for the team. Big Al.
But if he doesn't get one today, he's going to get one in a fortnight certainty anyway, isn't he? So his confidence will be sky high there and after.
Next week, you mean? Next week?
Yeah, sorry, next week.
Aye. Okay, so but I'm wanting. I'd like him to get a goal for his confidence, really, but I'm looking for a performance off him, the basics, doing things right, because he's not been doing a lot right.
Some of his passing the other night, Ox, was just woeful. And I really don't know if it is just a confidence thing with him because he's dipping form, or maybe he's trying. Me and young GB were saying the other night that maybe he's just trying too hard now. He's trying to make things happen, and it's contributing to his lack of confidence because his form's so poor at the moment. But he's got to get the basics right. You know, at the moment, it doesn't look like he can go buy one player, never mind 2 or 3. I mean, you think back to the Real Madrid game, it was brilliant that game. You know, saw his runs in that game. Where has that gone so quickly? You know, I don't know. I don't really know, Alex, but he certainly needs to do the basics right. Get the passing right for a start instead of knocking it out the park. What you're doing in training, you must be able to pass to one of your teammates without knocking it completely out the park. But he's got to do the basics properly today.
I think he has to. It's just no work for him, but we'll see where it takes him. We'll see where it takes him. And on for him, Brian Kent's a good player for us, Big Al.
Well, definitely. He's grown on me quite a lot, and as Rudy said, and I mentioned it as well, he was nutmegging guys in the Real Madrid game, and since that game, he's just kind of, I don't know what's happened to him. I'm glad he's not been dropped, if you like. I would have rather liked to have seen Lundstrom playing as well, but I think if Kent gets a good game, if he's lucky enough to get a goal, but as you were saying, the basics, get them right, maybe even setting up 2 or 3 goals today would help his confidence. Some nice passing and that.
All right. We've been joined by Wally. How are we doing, Wally?
No bad, Docs. I say I wish you Happy New Year the other week there. Right, Wally, cheers. My boy next door just come back here. Aye, as I say, I wasn't sure if there was a show on the day or no, so I don't know what you'll be talking about, obviously. Sorry about that, but there you go.
Well, we'll be talking about the day's game and the team.
Well, that's fine. I've not even heard the team. Have they said you? Aye.
You've done your homework before you came on here, haven't you?
I've been catching up with the press conference the other day and last week, and, you know what I mean? Some of them got a life away for the football, you know.
I'll give you the team, Willie.
I'll
give you the team. McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Balogun and Bassett. Kamara, Davis and Aribo. Kent, Hadji and Morelos. Substitutes, McCrory, Lundstrom, Helander, Itten, Patterson, Ruth and Arfield.
Just so you know, we signed Roof about 2 years ago. So you know, yeah.
You've not played for about 2 years. I know, but no, it's good to see wee Ken getting a game. What was I going to say? I'm looking for something special, obviously, next Sunday. But if he shows a wee bit, we know he's been off it, but you know yourself, he just turns it on. We should get a result today because we've never had any real problem before, even when we were kind of struggling. You know, like a couple of seasons ago. I don't know if you watched that open goal with that Simon Ferry. They had Yogi on. And it was actually Yogi's decision to leave Ross County. I didn't know that. He wasn't going to stay for even this season. He was just there to kind of help them stay there. And obviously the boy Kelly was up there and he played well up there, remember? He was at Ross County on loan.
Stephen's not even on the bench today, but I think the time will tell, you know.
Okay, he'll definitely come through, you know. It's still interesting about Patterson, and I don't want him to be sitting on the bench for the whole season. You know what I mean? Ox and then no getting a game, but at the end of the day, Tab's our captain, isn't he? So it's one of them. Even although he's not been up to it either, you know. But as I said the other night, when you were, a win's a win. All right, it was only 1-0. It should have been more. We might have had a penalty, maybe 2, but as Gerard says and all, we move on. The game's done. We'll go to the next game, so it'll be interesting to see what happens today. I don't think there's going to be any fans there for your end, even although, you know, there's a lot of boys style up there. There's seemingly a problem with allocation.
Have you been in Mars?
How do you mean?
Because everybody's fighting and scrambling for tickets because we only got 1,000 and it's been all over the Rangers sites and everybody's talking about it. We even mentioned it on the show. The scramble for tickets.
Selling tickets too.
I don't know much about scrambling. I had a motorbike years ago, but...
Wally.
Yes.
Wally, did you see the TV on Monday night? The Taliban are on the dodgems as well.
Hey, listen. According to the BBC, it's 25 days before they get to Kabul. So we've got plenty of time.
Just to let you know, Wally, so you're up to date with things, Princess Diana's dead.
Oh, you're kidding.
And none happened with the Millennium Bug.
Listen, what do you get if you fall out with the Queen and Prince Philip?
You watch what you're doing now. There's a button and you'll disappear.
No, honestly, I never heard the show, and I was on the other day, obviously, the European game, you know. Mm-hmm. But hold on a minute. Alexa, switch off.
Well, we'll carry on his conversation with his family. It takes me why you all hear that.
I was just going.
Alexa's his home hub.
I think so.
I was just going to make a point there, Ox, about Ross County. We scored 11 goals last season against them, so that without a single reply season.
Keep that momentum going.
If we can't go up there, you know, against the poor Ross County side, I mean, they lost, I think, 4 or 5. What they would consider to be their top players during the summer there. They brought a load of loans in who can't have hit the ground running yet. I mean, they haven't scored. Apparently, they've not even had a single shot on goal in their last 2 games, 2 league games. If we can't go up there and come back with the 3 points, a decent performance and 3 or 4 goals, then, you know, there's something wrong up. There really is.
I get your point, but I just think first and foremost that Bridgeman, it's important that we win the game first and foremost. I'd like a clean sheet and I'd like a load of goals, but it's about 3 points league games.
100%. 3 points is what we want. No matter what anyone says, we want 3 points. I think it will be, as long as we don't. I don't want us to lose any goals. You know what I'm like. I'm scared. I don't like it that way. I'm very mean that way. I don't want to lose goals. Well, I think that we need to score goals. But at the moment, Bridgeman will do me fine. I've got 1-0, I'll do me fine. It brings it back to Ibrox. That's brilliant. But if we get 3, 4, 5, and above 1, it'll be great. Great. Keep a clean sheet, please. I take to think we got there and we'll lose 2 goals and stupid nonsense like that. Those are blunders. Need to cut the blunders out.
This is the time to get my 3rd clean sheet in a row. Yeah? That's what it would be, Bridge, you know?
That's exactly what I'm wanting. It's got to be a clean sheet. The defence know it. The goalkeeper knows it. There's no excuses. No excuses whatsoever. As Rudy Bear said earlier, very eloquently, we went up there last season, or we played them last season, scored 10 goals or something against them. and never lost a goal. So that's what we need to. That's the kind of scores that we're looking for. The overall, we need to do it. We get 10 a day, it'll be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Aye. Al, I'm expecting a victory. I don't think there should be any problems, but you never know. But I also want a performance, Al.
Aye, we want to start the momentum thing going, don't we? Yeah, I think what you mentioned there with the clean sheet, I think that's important. That breeds confidence in the forward players if the defence is holding steady, sure and steadfast, if you like. Performance, definitely. I think that's that confidence thing again. Performance, knowing that you can do what needs to be done. Skill level will increase with confidence. Then taking chances, maybe a few weeks ago, chances you wouldn't have took, you'll take them over the next few weeks going further into the season. Performance. And look, you look at the players we've got players that we know we can get a performance out of, you know what I mean? We've got that big Bassett there now, he seems to be getting us a performance week in, week out so far. He's able to get the ball in for different areas of the park, not just like Barisic try to get it in for doing it at the touchline. He's sending in crosses in for deeper. I think things like that are confident, and I think that.
And also, Al, he gives you. I mean, let's be honest. Barisic's strength is the head on the ball, so Bassett helps you in base boxes, doesn't he?
Aye, definitely. He's a unit of a guy. Yeah. I'm actually pretty pleased that he's there. I think I said a few weeks ago. Obviously, I like Barisic, but the minute I see Bassett, he fills me with confidence every time I see him. So long may it continue with him. Other players to look at, Kent, he gets that wee bit of confidence, gets a goal or gets a few assists. Morelos, big player for us. He gets a goal that takes him on, confidence, clean sheet. Aye, look, it's easy as talking about it. It's just as long as they can deliver it. Aye, they can deliver it. Look, Aribo too, if Aribo, if he starts playing well, because even the other night there, a couple of times he's in there, he does that wee tricky thing. I think maybe players are a wee bit slower to react to what he's doing, maybe. I think that might come then with the team, confidence-wise.
Aye. Goals and performance and that breed confidence, Rudy.
Aye, and I think as far as the clean sheets go, what really impressed me about the team last season, Ox, was, you know, that defensive record that they had, the clean sheets and the least amount of goals scored again. I think it was 13, wasn't it? You defend from the front, Ox. I know it's an old maxim, but it's true. You defend from the front, and that's what we're no doing at the moment. We're no defending for the front. You know, we're no chasing balls down. We're no hunting in packs. We're giving players too much time on the ball. You know, so it starts for the front, works its way through the midfield until it finally gets to the defence. So you've got to start defending for the front. Something that really impressed me about last season was, you know, a whole load of games last season. Teams were struggling just to get a shot on goal, never mind score a goal. And it hasn't looked like that this season, unfortunately. You know, it's been too easy for teams sometimes this season, you know. We've got to get back to that again. But it's like you say, Ox, you keep clean sheets at the back, it spreads through the team, and the confidence starts to rise. All right, you might not play well, but you'll not lose the game if you're keeping clean sheets.
All right, we've been joined by Andrew. Afternoon, Andrew.
Good afternoon, guys. How are you?
Hi, Andrew.
Hello, Andrew.
Hello. Hi.
What's your thoughts on the team, mate?
Well, first when I seen Balogun, I thought, he's dropped Balogun for, he's dropped Goldson for Balogun, but it wasn't to be. It was dropped Helander, but I don't see the reasoning behind that. They've kept 2 clean sheets in a row, so I don't know why he's dropped Helander for.
Well, it's not 2 in a row with Helander. Helander didn't play against Dunfermline. It was Simpson, you know.
Oh, so it was, yeah. So it was. Sorry about that.
The defence has kept 2 in a row. I get your point.
The defence kept 2 in a row. Aye. But my mistake. I thought it was the same centre back. But anyway, go on. Sorry, carry
carry on.
No, carry on. You carry on, mate.
Yeah, just going with who was it was speaking there just before I come on?
Rudy.
Rudy, I totally agree. We need to start playing for defence to the front. Absolutely agree. Absolutely 100% agree. The reasoning being, what I've noticed is, and I think it's been mentioned on the show a few times, is we're seeing Kent running 40 yards back the way, to collect the ball. That shouldn't be happening,
That to me it shows his lack of form, because he's not been in the areas he should be, and he's actually getting on the ball when he's not going to affect the game, So it's but hopefully he gets back to form today, mate.
Absolutely. Let's hope we get 3 points, a good performance, and maybe a couple of goals, and everybody in the team gets pass marks. That would be delightful. Give us a bit of confidence.
I'll just give you the betting for the day, lads and Andy. Ross County 14-1. The draw's 5-1, and £1 on Rangers will return you £1.20, Rudy.
Wow. I'll be able to go on holiday with that, Ox.
That's us 5-1 on.
Aye. So we're strong favourites.
It's telling you what the bookies think, isn't it? And as it should, that's how it should be, Ox. If you even look at our bench, you get Atton, Patterson, Roof and Arfield sitting on the bench. These are guys.
Talking about strong favourites, we've been joined by Bear Down Under. How are we doing, Bear Down Under?
How you doing, Oxshare? I don't know if you can hear me, can you?
No.
Loud and clear.
We can hear you fine, mate.
I don't know what's going on with this just now, but it's all...
Oh, you're tip-top, mate. You're tip-top. All right,
nice
mate.
One. How you doing, Ox?
Good to hear from you, mate.
Aye, likewise. Big shout out to Rudy Bear and Ridgeman and Big Al as well.
Do it, you, Bear Down Under.
Nice to hear from you, mate.
I think Big Al's stealing the internet down now.
No. Safe,
Are you in the toilet, Bear Down Under?
You know what they're like for Western Australia, Big Al. They're a bit slower, aren't they?
Just that wee bit, eh?
Especially that Gary Brownlee.
Rolf Harris, he was from Western Australia.
That's enough. All right.
Right, Bear Down Under, what's your thoughts?
I don't know. Is there a problem with our best centre half playing week in, week out?
I can't
understand.
If he'd have played today and then he plays on Thursday, that's 3 games, and then Celtic game, that would be 4. Then he's at international duty. I get your point. Bridgeman, quickly then, Rudy Bear. Well, Rudy first, on you go, Rudy.
Aye, I don't know. I'm a bit disappointed in the fact that he seems to every second game he's sitting on his backside, because he's definitely the best defender at the club. And let's be honest with it, Ox, it's not that long until the international break, is it really? It's not like he's having to play 100 games before he gets to the international break. And surely, he's been away with Sweden at the Euros, we get all that stuff, but surely he should be, he should be able to play these games, I could see it for 3/4 of the way through the season, and he's played maybe 50 games by that time or something, 45 games. But really, it's the start of the season. He's not played much football, so he should be.
It's been consistent through his Rangers career. I think that's the point the Bear Down Under's making. It's not new that he doesn't play 3 games or 4 games in a row.
No,
Bear
I know.
Down Under.
What I don't get is I think he brings a bit of calming influence in the back line, and to me, he's not blessed with pace, but he just never seems to be caught in the wrong side of the man. And let's be honest, we're not playing our best football at the moment. There's a bit of a concern. I'm a bit wee ropey for today. We don't know what team we're going to get today. And as far as I'm concerned, I want to see my best players on the park today. And more importantly, the best informed players. And I'd say like Helander would probably be by far the best centre half that we've got at the moment, because Big Goldstein, we don't know, what we're getting. And it baffles me. why we're not starting him. He'd be the first name of the team sheet for me.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone in these thoughts. Bridgman, you with us?
I'm indeed, pal. Yes, I'm indeed. Yeah, I think Helander. I reckon Helander should be playing every game. That's my honest opinion. The manager has got some idea in his head, his reason for not playing Helander, and I don't know what it is. It might be he's maybe got a wee knock, so he's only going to get half, 45 minutes. But I just don't know. We won't know until the manager tells us. And I think it can be a wee bit unfair on players that if they're getting dropped for some reason, and nobody knows. So here we are. We all think Helander's a smashing player and fits the bill. I'm not saying he's the best player in the world or anything, but for some reason or other, manager drops him and with no explanation. That's the manager's prerogative, of course. Nothing to do with us, really. However, we are fans.
I think the term now is rested bridge, innit? You don't
rested is a good term. And by the way, it may be right. Maybe he needs it. Maybe he's the type of player who can only play one game in a week, not two. So he has a
shouldn't
a
have
good
been
game.
the club. We shouldn't have
Oh,
been.
agree with you. 100% agree with you. I'm not. These are all maybes. They're all maybes. I'm getting no idea why it is, pal.
For me, Helander's got to start on Thursday.
100%.
Anyway, talking about guys that always start, don't always finish. We've been joined by George UK.
All right, you band of rocks. How you doing?
All right, George.
Thanks, George.
All right, man. All right.
What's your thoughts on the team, mate?
Thoughts the team is all right, man. The usual, probably same as you. Strange that Helander's not playing Balogun's in. I'm not keen on Balogun. I don't know why. I'm just not keen on them. But I just want the midfield, man, to start lifting their energy levels, man. A lot more consistency, by the way. And let's start the day, man. And let's get this team on. Let's get the team started. Firing all cylinders, know what I mean? Kent, let's start playing from today. You know what I mean? And let's win, get a few goals and no concede any.
What's the score going to be then, George?
I'm going for 3-0, mate.
3-0?
Yeah.
Well, when you 61, you'll get your cash, George.
I'm not a gambler, mate, apart from the lottery.
61 your cash, strong favourites, Rudy. So 3-0, I'll take that. I'll
take that all day long.
Along with a good performance, yeah.
Aye, we need a performance. We've got to start. There's players, I could think back to the first game away in Malmo, and Steven Gerrard saying after the match, 6 or 7 of them need to up their form performances wise and stuff. And he was right, and it's continued since then. He's really got to kick in at some point, and hopefully the day's a perfect day for it, Ox. They've got to start performing. I like Sir Ryan Kent. He's really got to give a performance today. 3-0 win, I'd take that all day long.
They're playing in that purple lilac strip today, I see.
Oh, I hope.
Oh, that's the worst strip in the world, that, man. Jeez.
Horrible. Ox, yeah.
Yes, Bear Down Under.
Can I just bring something up as well about touched on the Helander thing as well, but there's another concern that I've got in the team as well, where why is Roof not playing today, considering that he's not going to be playing on Thursday night, and after he scored a double in the last game that he played, and you've obviously got Ryan Kent, who isn't on form, would you not be putting Roof on the right-hand side with Hadji on the left? I'm a bit... If he's not going to be playing on Thursday, should we not be using Roof in this game particularly?
It's a good question. He's not a lot of football, so maybe I don't know where he was. I mean, obviously, let's not get carried away with the Dunfermline game, but I understand. I think we will see Roof at some point in the day, and obviously it's his last day suspension on Thursday. That's him back after that in Europe, isn't it?
Yeah.
4 games, and then he'll be hopefully. He'll get a run of games because a lot of people like Kemar Roof. I don't know if he's a number 9 for us, Bear Down Under. So I think if Fredo gets in front of him, and then it's different positions. But I get your point. I'll let Rudy answer that.
I agree with you. Alfredo, first and foremost, always, But Ruff, I said to you last week, Ox, I really, really like Ruff. I think he's got that intelligence in the edge of that 18-yard box and in the area. He's got the intelligence, he knows these wee spaces to be in, to get himself into. And he's a really good goal scorer, Ox. He's clinical at times. He really is. I'd like to see him play a lot more, Ox.
All right. Listen, I'll use Lance and I was going to say girls there, but there's no girls. I mean, lads that have phoned in. I don't know.
Speak to yourself.
Off your call, and also Carl and Wally for joining us, along with Andrew, Big Al, Bear Down Under, the one and only George, and thanks to Rudy and Bridgeman for doing the show. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back approximately 15 minutes after the final whistle. We'll be joined by myself, my good mate Rudy. Take it away, Old School Blue.
4-0 for Rangers.
Hello, how do you do? We are the boys in Royal Blue. Wherever we go, we fear the foe. We'll keep the blue flag flying high. Oh, flying high, up in the sky. We'll keep the blue flag flying high. Wherever we go, we fear the foe. We'll keep the blue flag flying high. How do you do? We are the boys in Royal Blue. Wherever we go, we fear the foe. We'll keep the blue flag flying high. We're flying high, up in the sky. We'll keep the blue flag flying high. Wherever we go, we fear the foe. We'll keep the blue flag flying high. How do you do? We are the boys in Royal Blue. Wherever we go, we feel the foe. We'll keep the blue flag flying high.